10 superheroes with tragic backstories. Welcome back to True Power Comics, and today our video on 10 superheroes with tragic backstories. It's no secret that many superheroes have endured great loss and hardship before donning their capes and becoming the defenders of justice we know and love. In this video, we will explore the emotional and heartbreaking pasts of some of our favorite heroes, from witnessing the murder of loved ones to experiencing personal tragedies that shape their characters. These heroes have faced immense challenges on their journeys to becoming the protectors of the respective cities. So sit back, grab some tissues, and join us as we dive into the tragic backstories of these 10 superheroes. Starting off today's video with number 1, Ben Grimm. In college, Ben Grimm was a bright and well-liked athlete who shared a passion for space missions with his friend Reed Richards. Later, after serving in the Marine Corps, he joined Richard and Susan Storm on a space expedition. Unfortunately, the radiation from the spaceship had a severe impact on Ben, and he transformed into a mass of orange rocks. Despite becoming part of the Fantastic Four team, he struggled to cope with his new appearance, which made it impossible for him to live a normal life. Unlike Bruce Banner, who could change back and forth from the Hulk, Ben's rock-pile appearance was permanent, earning him the name The Thing and constant ridicule from the public around him. Coming in with our number 2 spot, Black Widow. As a child, Natasha Romanoff was recruited by the KGB to be a part of their top-secret Black Widow program. However, the loss of her mother and abandonment by her father caused her great pain. Later, she trained at the Red Room Academy in the Kremlin, where she was taught to become a lethal killing machine. During her training, Natasha endured numerous hardships and even underwent sterilization. As a result, she was forced to suppress her emotions and empathy in order to carry out ruthless executions, which left her traumatized from her childhood experiences. Coming in with number 3, Robin, aka Jason Todd. Jason Todd, also known as Robin, experienced a series of traumatic events during his childhood. His mother lost custody of him, and his father remarried a drug addict. Tragically, his stepmother died from an overdose, further exasperating his difficult circumstances. After members of the Two-Face gang killed his father, Jason was forced to live as an orphan in his father's rundown apartment. Desperate to survive, he turned to a life of crime. To make matters worse, the Joker sent Jason's biological mother to kill him, resulting in one of the most tragic histories in any superhero. Now I know it's getting pretty dark, but don't worry, it gets darker with our number 4 spot, The Flash. The Flash, unlike many other superheroes, did not grow up as an orphan. However, he still faced a difficult childhood. When Barry Allen was young, his parents were going through a divorce when his mother was killed. Unfortunately, his father was wrongly accused and became the prime suspect in the murder investigation. Having grown up without the love and support of his parents, Barry was determined to prove his father's innocence. As he became a superhero, he discovered that his arch nemesis, the Reverse Flash, had traveled back in time to kill his mother and frame his father. This revelation added to the emotional burden that the Flash carried throughout his heroic endeavors. Now I know what you're thinking, how much more dark could it get? But we're only halfway through. Coming in with number 5, Spider-Man. Spider-Man is a superhero who, despite being an orphan, has maintained a positive outlook on childlike enthusiasm. After losing his parents at a young age, Peter Parker was raised by his Uncle Ben and Aunt May. He was often bullied for his glasses, weak physicality, and nerdy interests, until he was bitten by a radioactive spider and gained superhuman abilities. However, the tragic events in Peter's life didn't stop there. He carries the weight of partial responsibility for the death of his beloved Uncle Ben, which forced him to become more thoughtful and responsible in his decisions. This experience shaped him into a web-slinging hero he is today, one who fights for justice and takes responsibility very serious. Okay, that was a little less dark than The Flash, but if you thought The Flash was dark, we're coming in with number 6, Martian Manhunter. Now, Martian Manhunter is a versatile member of the Justice League, but his life has been marked by tragedy. On his home planet, Mars, his brother, Ma-Alefa-Ak, grew to hate their own race, created a telepathic virus called Haranmir's Curse. I know I'm probably butchering that, but the virus spread quickly and devastated the planet. But John was able to protect his family for a while. Unfortunately, his luck ran out. His wife and daughter became infected with the virus and died in front of him. Mars was destroyed, and John was only able to survive because he was accidentally teleported to Earth by Dr. Saul Erdel. He lost everything and everyone he loved in the process, including his family. Now that is dark. Coming in with number 7, Deadpool. Deadpool is a complex character with a convoluted origin story that varies across different medias. However, the 2016 film version of the character is the most widely known and accepted. In the film, Wade Wilson is a former Special Forces operative who works as a mercenary and falls in love with a woman. Unfortunately, he soon learns that he has terminal cancer. In a desperate bid to cure himself, he undergoes a radical experiment that alters his appearance and fractures his psyche. The result is a disfigured and isolated Deadpool, who seeks vengeance as a vigilante. While he may appear more stable and less insane than his comic book counterpart, his quirky and sarcastic demeanor serves as a coping mechanism for his emotional and physical scars. Okay, are you crying yet? No? Alright, well, you might on this one. Number 8, Hank Pym. Hank Pym, a character from an early era of comics, has various conflicting biographies, although none of them are joyful. Some are more distressing than others. Pym discovered the Pym particle, particles which enabled him to shrink to the size of insects. And he meets Janet Van Dyne, who becomes the Wasp. Together, they founded the Avengers. Despite this accomplishment, Pym develops feelings of inadequacy and insecurity compared to the other superheroes like Thor and Iron Man. So, to prove himself, he created Ultron, a robot that turned rogue and caused destruction in a desperate attempt to impress his teammates. Pym created another robot with similarly disastrous consequences. Pym also struck Janet, leading to his expulsion from the Avengers. In the Rage of Ultron storyline, Pym accidentally merged with Ultron and was left adrift through space as a result. Hank Pym's life has been filled with hardships and difficulties in the comics, and that's why his story is so tragic. Alright, moving on to number 9, Spawn. Spawn, originally known as Francis Simmons, had a background as highly skilled Marine who later joined the CIA. Despite his loyalty to his country and his heroic actions, Simmons carried out some questionable deeds, including killing civilians. Tragically, he was betrayed by someone he trusted and murdered. Before his death, Simmons began to question the morality of his superiors. However, upon dying, he was sent to hell. There, he made a deal with a demon. He would trade his soul for a chance to see his wife again. The deal was accepted and Spawn was brought back to life. However, he found himself disfigured, endowed with supernatural powers, and 5 years had passed since his death. He discovered that his wife had moved on, remarried, and had a child, and to further add to his misery, he was being used as a pawn in a war between demons. Now, if that isn't a tragic and miserable story, I don't know what is. There's nobody that wants to be used by demons. And coming in our final number 10 spot is none other than Batman. When searching for a tragic comic book origin, Batman is often the first to come to mind. As a young child, Bruce Wayne witnessed the brutal murder of his parents in a Gotham City alleyway. This traumatic event left a deep impact on Bruce, though. Even with his vast inheritance and fatherly figure in Alfred, despite his wealth and resources, the billionaire superhero remained perpetually lonely and haunted by the loss of his parents. His primary motivation for fighting crime in Gotham is to avenge their deaths and make the city a safer place, which unfortunately would never happen in Gotham City. Now that has to be the most tragic thing ever, to watch both your parents die, to swear to make your city a safer place so that no other people have to watch their family die, and come to the realization that it may never happen. But that was 10 tragic superhero backstories. If you enjoyed this recap of these 10 superhero tragic backstories, please leave a like and a comment. And that's all we have for you tonight at True Power Comic. Adios.